I got my scanner, a little distracted.
Ooh, that's a little dark.
You're dark. Oh, I see. You are, literally. What is that image of? It looks like Assassin's Creed or something.
Well, we will talk about it. I don't want to spoil it.
Sorry. I'm so excited to scan.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. Please work, please work, please work, please work.
Is it scanning? Oh, like it? You just got it.
Yeah. My poor the woman who delivers our mail is like 300 pounds, right? So she has to walk. The walk from the drive, like the end of the drive to the house, has got to be like 100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So she always looks out of breath, and I feel really bad for her. And I've said like just call me. I'll come down to the car. And she's like, no, I can't do that. You know. So today, and she hates our dog. She is scared shitless of the dog, which, by the way, is a very normal reaction to this animal. But she's like standing there at the door. She's holding this giant box with a giant box and a small. There's like 3 giant boxes, and she's trying to pass it. Of course, the dog's trying to nose his way through the door so he can get at her. Mm-hmm. She's scared crapless of the animal, and it was just like the most awkward, terrible moment.
Good story.
Fine. How much time do I? Oh, I see.
You ready?
Fine.
Welcome back to the world's worst unboxing, featuring Paul's navel. He's...
Yeah, sorry. I'll try to be slightly more professional. Hello.
Yeah.
All right, what am I looking at, Brad?
So, well, what you're not, I can tell you what you're not looking at is me playing this game.
I don't know. What is it?
So this is a new hot game, if you will. It's called Anthem. If you're familiar with Destiny, it's supposed to be very similar to Destiny, but made by BioWare, produced by EA, and they have a live demo today if you pre-order the game. So I pre-ordered it this morning. I downloaded the 23 gigabits or gigabytes of whatever.
So it is Destiny 3, really.
Well, but a different franchise. Like, I don't know. It's a new game. So the problem is, Paul, baffling. They never could have predicted that people wanted to play this game, and so the server's just crashing, timing out, and
yeah, it just sort of says connecting to online something service.
Forever.
I guess.
For a while,
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it said for a while it said servers are at max capacity. I never understand this. I understand that computer science is a hard problem here, but they knew how many people pre-ordered this game or might pre-order. They could get those numbers. They could probably. Yes. I mean, this is EA after all. They could probably speculate how much server overhead they might need.
You think they've done this before? They've launched games in the past.
I mean, Rachel, I can never remember. Miss Silver in the chat room says that EA is adding more servers, so maybe I'll get to play this sometime between now and when the beta ends, which is like Sunday evening or something. But I've been looking forward to this one.
Maybe they'll extend it. You know.
Maybe they'll add some loot boxes. I mean, it is EA after all.
Wow.
So,
all right.
Yeah, we can just sit here it gets past the connecting server and then it's just on the screen and you can do nothing. It is.
Well, the guys there are doing little things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great screensaver. I mean.
Yep. Looks a lot like a couple other Bungie type games, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping that this is like Destiny, just not screwed up like Destiny became.
Please write an article that says that Anthem has fixed all of the problems with Destiny.
I mean, technically that could be accurate. I can't find out for myself. I mean, it would make a great headline, but
as of today, it has introduced new problems that Destiny did not have.
Yeah. So how's it going, Paul? You ready? Oh, well, you haven't scanned any photos. Are you ready to?
It's literally sitting here. The only thing stopping me right now, is you, and the fact that I need to plug the USB cable in, and then probably download drivers in some kind of application. But it literally just arrived.
Can you hold it up? Like, how big is it?
Oh, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty big. I can't hold it up.
It's not that big. I was expecting
okay.
It's
heavy. Yeah, it's not like a laser printer, but it's.
Yes, I was expecting.
It's quite dense.
Yeah. So are you.
I guess I walked into that one. So is your face.
Yeah. Yeah. Other fun things going on. Google hasn't officially announced, nor has Microsoft, I guess, technically, but their Google I/O is going to be May 7th through the 9th, which is...
good timing.
Yeah.
Well, at least Microsoft has never fallen for this trap before.
We will know right away if they have their event Monday through Wednesday, like they did last year, they will have done the exact same thing where they have moved the dates. Because everybody knows the conference kickoff should never be on a Monday. The reason being is because then you have to travel on a Sunday.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, well.
We will find out if Frank Shaw hates my family, which he probably does. But,
Yep.
Yeah. It's been a quiet day.
Yes, it has. That's okay. I mean, for me, Fridays are built-in busy because...
Mm-hmm.
God, excuse me. I'm all excited about the printer, the scanner.
Paul is...
I'm literally like... no, I do short takes in the morning, and then I do Ask Paul, usually in the morning, depending on how the day goes. But I did get that done. So that's like it's like 3,000 words right there. You know, it's a pretty good morning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's about it.
There was something.
I mean, there's a little things. You know, Nokia or HMD is going to start selling Nokia phones through some carriers in the U.S. That's good news. There was some integration between Cortana and Microsoft Tasks. I don't know if we got that up on the site yet, but that was announced. There's a new build last night. Nothing major going on there, but a couple of small things for Windows 10.
That thing's wrapped up.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're going to go 3 for 3 on missing launch deadlines. I mean, that would be.
Yeah, I mean, typically when they start the bug bash stuff, that's one of the end game milestones. You know, like we're always looking for, you know, is it done? Is it done? Is it done? And and obviously there are other, because they really don't, you know, it's goofy that they don't do this, but you know, there are things like, you know, they'll release it to the release preview, right? They'll take the watermark off the desktop. There will be several builds in a row where there are no new features, you know. So there are these things we have to kind of read the signs because they won't just come out and say, hey, by the way, this is where we're at, because God forbid we know.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's
set expectations accordingly.
Yeah, expectations are a good thing. The other interesting thing that's going to happen, I don't know if it got approved actually, or if it's going to court, but the Google Supreme Court thing, that's going to be.
Well, that's actually big news. So
it really is.
I you know, for people who haven't followed this, there's absolutely no way I can explain this quickly or easily. But the short version is that Google did use some of the source code for Java when it created Android. Now there's a new one, but the primary development environment for Android the whole time has been Java based. Sun Microsystems owned Java at the time. They were absolutely ecstatic that Google did this because it was another place for Java developers to go and exercise their skills and so forth. Oracle bought Sun. Oracle sued Google for infringing on Java patents, and also in a kind of a landmark type thing, claiming that there were copyright violations because it's like they basically plagiarized software code. Google has won twice in court. Google has also lost twice on appeal. So that's where it's at right now. And honestly, the problem for this is the ramifications it has for the software industry, right? Google, right. If this thing stands and Google is guilty, they'll pay some fee, and they might have to pay money to license Java going forward or something. They're already well along the way to exercising that software. Well, the code's probably gone from Android already, but as far Java, they've already replaced it with, or they have a second development environment now in Kotlin. They're going to replace Android with something called Fuchsia. I mean, they're moving toward this future where this doesn't matter anyway. But the ramifications are much broader than Google v. Oracle, because this will impact a lot of software.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yep.
Yeah. So on that note, it is worthy of the Supreme Court taking on. It also feels like, me personally, to be the type of thing that they don't want to take on, because honestly, I don't know that there's a technical acumen in the entire Supreme Court. A lot of old school guys there, guys and women, and I don't know. I kind of hope they do, and I hope it goes Google's way. That would be the correct direction for this to go. But I don't know. It's a risky bet for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, I tend to agree. There needs to be something, because there's no real foundation for this. But I don't know,
right,
if the Supreme Court's going to be the best.
I mean, it's not just the Supreme Court, to be fair. I mean, obviously,
right.
Laws have never kept up with technology. That's one of the constants of the past 20 to 40 years, whatever. And this is one example. The very notion of, does software source code, which is human readable, apply to does copyright law apply to that? It's a complicated topic. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
This is why we're not lawyers, because we just sit there and go, eh.
Well, I mean, but the big experience I have with this, of course, it was the original Microsoft antitrust trial, right? And so this is back in the very early 2000s. I think it was the FTC decided not to go after Microsoft, and in a very close vote, the Department of Justice decided to do it. The judge in that case just determined he was going to break Microsoft up into 2 or 3 parts. I don't remember the exact story anymore, but that exposed me to this new world, that I never knew anything about, and I had to kind of get up to speed on it. And it's something I'm still not totally comfortable with, obviously, and I'm not knowledgeable about legal systems or how laws work or anything like that. But it was very interesting, and I think for this kind of topic, it exposes you to yet another area like this. Like I don't understand copyright law, so I can't really speak to this, but
right.
It is, it's like a new thing. So it's like that, did Microsoft with software abuse its market power in the same way that Standard Oil had done back in the 1920s or 30s, whenever that was? The courts determined that, yes, they did. And actually, you can see that precedent applying. Did Google violate some kind of a copyright law with source? I don't know. That one, I don't know. I don't know.
Pull up a picture here. Let's see if it. Whoop. Where's it gonna open? Nobody knows. Oh. Nobody knows.
What is this?
While you were talking. But
Brad's just going to show his lights again because he's so proud of himself.
Words hurt.
He should be. It's really came out nice.
No, look. So here's what arrived in the mail yesterday. See the Switch?
Or tomatoes and bananas, Brad?
Well, those are apples and bananas. Those are the kids' snacks. But so that's the Switch. There used to be it's probably hard
yes, like a rocker Switch. And this is which one did you get?
So that's the Hue Switch.
It's a Hue. Will that thing come off? You can use it like a little remote.
That's exactly what you can do. And it sticks on there with what I believe are pretty strong magnets. And you got on, off. You can make it brighter, not so bright, and they work.
Does it have buttons for preset? Excuse me, like themes or whatever.
You can. If you hit the on button once, then it goes to the last scene, and then you can do up to like 5 presses for different scenes, which I can't imagine ever needing or wanting or anything along those lines, but.
So this thing is just wireless, right? It's not. There's no anything happening on the back.
Yeah.
So that replaces the plate.
Right. There used to be a rocker switch there. So if you take this thing off, what you see behind there is just it's an electrical box that has wiring, and I wire nutted the wires together, shoved them back in there, put this thing on the front.
Right. But I mean, that was there before. This thing is literally just covering the whole and then it's got the magnetized remote.
Yeah, it's quite literally double-sided like 3M tape or whatever comes with it, and you just go, and then
yeah, so it looks normal. It looks normal. It looks like your other stuff and works.
Yeah,
like
it makes me want to do the rest of the house with it now.
How much was that switch, Brad?
That switch wasn't too bad. I think it was like $14.
Oh, that's good.
Which isn't bad. But the
that's
problem,
not bad at all.
The problem is the next logical thing to do would be all the lights in the kitchen, which I need those can lights that you put out. They're the same ones you put outside that you used. They're the big halogen floodlight things, and those aren't cheap.
No, they are not. No, they are not. The only reason we own any of them is they were on sale, for Christmas or whatever.
Right. So that's the next logical one, because I could do all the lights in the house this way. It's just whether or not I really want to, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously you pair these with hue lights, right? So maybe what makes sense is to do that in the places where you do have hue lights, Hughes or Philips Hue, whatever they are, they solved part of the problem with the lights. Now they remember what is it called? The scene or whatever, when you turn them on, right? So I have a light out there that for some reason is kind of green right now, but when no, it's not for that reason, although that happened last night at 9:45. When you flip it has, it's a lamp. So it has a little, little switch on it, right? So when you click it twice, it comes on, click it twice, it goes off. It comes on in the right color. Like that one's working. Like in that sense, it's still changing color at 9:45. But like that's actually a big part of it, right? Like a normal person is going to want to walk up to a switch, do a normal thing with it, and have the right thing happen.
Correct.
So that for a lot of people solves the problem,
Yeah. The only reason why I'm hesitating, like I have no problem doing all this stuff. I kind of enjoy it in a masochist sort of way. Is our bedrooms, because we have two switches, because there's ceiling fans in every bedroom, and we have a light and a fan switch. And I refuse to give up that functionality because that is very convenient. So I'm not going to go backwards just so I can turn lights on. What I'd love is be able to like tap one button on my phone and have it turn on all the fans in all the bedrooms at once.
Well, see, this is something you could do through your little hub, whatever the home thing you're using, right? If they were connected in some way, you could have some command where you like, whatever the thing is you're using, and you say, turn on all the fans, and it's a routine or whatever that does that across all of those devices.
Which it can, but I cannot do that through Hue because they don't. What I need is just a switch, because there's no light bulbs in the fan.
Right. I know you're not gonna be able to do that through Hue, but you could do it through the Apple Home app or whatever, assuming you had smart switches or something that triggers those things. You're coming home on a summer day, it's hot out. The AC's been turned down or whatever. You want the fans to come on. Maybe the AC goes up a little bit. You can tie those things together.
Yep. Oh man, what would be really nice? Yeah. See, this is the dangerous part. Is I could get a sensor that says, hey, when it's above 72 degrees in the house, all the fans kick on.
There you go.
Yeah, but the problem goes back to getting the wall switch for the bedrooms that supports two different functionalities, which is the problem because it's only it's only one box. It's not side by side switches.
We have it's not particularly smart, but in our the sunroom there's a fan up at the top, a set of lights, and the lights are controlled with a switch on the wall, like they were, like they always were.
Yep.
The fan is controlled by something very much like that thing you just put on. It's not connected behind the scenes by anything. It's just a plate. You can actually remove it like a remote, and it's just a control. It's very much like the thing you have. It looks like it's same shape, has a couple of different settings on it, and it's just for the fan. So you can, I can't program it. I can't. The problem with that is I can't do what you're talking about. But I guess what I'm trying to say is those two things, even though it's the same unit, they're controlled by two different things.
Yep.
So it's possible,
Oh, this is definitely possible. I just don't want to be hacking into the wall to put two switches where one switch is. I think my wife would draw the line there because there's no reason to do that.
Yeah.
But what I could do...
Yeah.
I could do it with one switch, but again, just the convenience of walking into every room and there's two switches, the exact same in every room. One does fan, one does light is very convenient.
Excuse me. I think I inhaled some of this La Croix by mistake, and now it's,
What'd you call
coating
it?
my lungs. La Croix?
Isn't it LaCroix?
LaCroix.
Isn't there an
That could
R in
be.
there?
Yeah, there is. I call it Pample Mouse to make my wife upset. LaCroix. Yes, that's what it is. I don't say it, Brad. I just drink it.
I know I've said this on here before, but it's always when people make whatever you want to call that pronunciation, whatever you want to call it. It's typically because they learn the word by reading it versus hearing it.
Yeah. I've done a lot of that in my life, actually.
Yeah.
My best example of that is in the 6th grade. I read The Sword of Shannara. No, I'll never forget this. This book is 1,200 pages long.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for a book report. My teacher let me, the teacher turned me on to this book, and she said, you like the Tolkien stuff, you'll love this. She let me take 2 book report periods to write my review. She told me what she wanted me to do was an analysis of the ways in which this author ripped off Tolkien and The Lord of the Rings, which were many. And anyway, the main character is a guy his name is Shay, but it's spelled S-H-E-A. It's probably Irish, I guess. Mm-hmm. So when I read the book, I'm a 6th grader. I don't know how things are pronounced. Right. I'd never seen this word or name before. In my head, it was Shia. The whole time I'm reading 1,200 pages. It's Shia. And so I talked to the teacher afterwards, and I got an A+, whatever. She loved it. But she's talking to me, and we're sitting, it's like 10, 15 minutes goes by. And finally I stopped her and I said, who is this Shay person you keep talking about? And it's the main character in the book. And I didn't, yeah, it's a lifelong problem.
Things happen. And other things that are happening too. And I'll be curious to see. Apple's supposedly going to be releasing their AirPod 2, however you want to pronounce that.
Yep.
Here soon. And if the only thing it includes is Hey Siri support, that'll be disappointing. I don't know what else they'd add to it, but
I mean, what are the problems with it?
I don't know. That's the thing. Is like I wear mine. Now, granted, the only thing that would be benefit is that maybe if they had like a rubber gasket around it to make it a tighter seal on your ear.
Yeah.
That would probably get me to buy them, but I'm not going to buy them for better Siri integration because I only wear them to the gym. I can't wear them cutting grass because, again, it blocks out no noise.
I always wore the big noise-canceling headphones for that.
Yeah. So we will see, and then I'll just give my wife my old ones because that's hopefully how our technology relationship will.
It's many relationships are built on this exact strategy.
Yeah. I don't know. What do we got going on next week? Is there anything? End of January.
No. No.
Yeah. It's been a weird week.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty quiet this week. Oh, there's stuff going on in that thing behind you. 2 kids just ran up on the stairs and then ran away.
Damn it. I thought it was like it says connecting to online
No, there's
services.
like something new happened, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I mean, this is like a real world, right? This isn't on a loop.
No, it might actually be on a loop.
No, I know. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Oh, see those 2 kids there in the bottom left? I think they just ran up on the stairs and then ran back down or something.
I mean, it looks like a fun game. I'm anxiously waiting to see if it actually is. See if this will get me off my PUBG addiction. Ace Combat 7 does a little bit, but it's not nearly as fun as PUBG. And,
right.
It's not as
I may actually ship that Windows Mixed Reality thing today. I have to say the arrival of the scanner has made that a little less certain. But I will try to.
What you should do is just scan a picture of you FedExing it. And that way you could combine all your...
Right.
Have your wife take a 1980s Polaroid.
Mm-hmm. I'll take a picture on the phone. I'll print it out. I'll scan it. Then I'll send you that.
My mom actually called me today. It was funny. And she said, hey, you got a printer? I said, nope.
Yeah, exactly. That's the right answer to that question.
She's like, okay. And then she called my brother and he said yes. And that was his fault.
Somebody sent me was it the Microsoft thing? Maybe it was the Microsoft thing. Somebody sent me a document I had to sign, right? Mm-hmm. And the way the document was created, it was a Microsoft Word document. So I opened it on a Surface Pro so I could sign it with the pen, right? And I thought this is like the perfect use for this pen. and it was locked down so that you couldn't edit the line where it was the signature. So I was like, I made a copy of it. I tried all these different ways, and finally I was like, I'm gonna have to like print this thing out, sign it, scan it, and then send it back. And that's what I did. It's stupid.
So if it's the document I'm thinking of, what I do is I open up Paint and do it in there.
Yeah.
And then you can crop it and just copy it, and then it will let you paste it in that
like
document.
at the bottom. Oh. Okay. Oh, this was the work-related thing then.
Well, the document I was thinking of was when Microsoft sends us hardware. That agreement that you have to sign.
Right. That was what I was thinking. It could be that. But actually, I changed my 401k, whatever we call it. It might have been that document.
Oh, well, that's probably a different document then.
Yeah. But same theory. Like it's a Word file. It has individual fields, like where you put the date and your name and whatever, and you sign it. And if like I've done it with Microsoft where I can use a pen and it works. It's nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice if this would work. I really wanted to play this before the kid got off school. But I think we're just connecting to online services for the next.
She might want to watch you play. There are kids in it. No.
Nope. All right, you got anything else for today, Mr. Bell?
Nope. I'm going to scan my little heart out today if I can.
Wow.
How about you?
You live a thrilling life over in the Thurrott household on the end of January.
Yep.
But all right, folks, that wraps it up for whatever this was we did today. And we'll be back next week with more news, more good insights, whatever. Maybe some Anthem reviews. Who knows? But have yourselves a wonderful day. Catch you guys later. God, shout out to Vincent. He says, you guys are my new favorite for daily tech news. It feels so real here because I'd like to think that we do have a pulse. According to my watch, we do. I do have.
Did we deliver any tech news today? I don't even.
This was like a bottom 10% podcast. This is like,
sure.
It's like you signed up to do this. You're gonna sit there.
I mean, my only defense now is it's free. I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know. Some days I feel like we do good stuff. Other days I feel like it's me sitting here. I mean, all we did realistically was just sit here and look at this thing.
Anthem to start working. But
it's vaguely interesting, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean they got a nice screensaver. All right, I will catch you later.
Bye.